Hey guys, I'm Andy from ASM. Welcome to ASM Track Tips. Today we're going over NCM Grand. This is a 3.15 mile track located in Bowling Green, Kentucky. 20 plus corners, very busy track, lots of elevation changes, straightaways, high speed turns, blind turns, everything. One of my favorite tracks. Flying lap around NCM Grand. Coming down the main straight, coming into 1A, very fast, hard on the brakes, using all of the curbs through turn 1A and B. You'll be all up on the curbs on the right side, all up on the curbs in the middle there, and then coming out, you won't necessarily get up on those curbs there, but if you carry a little too much speed, you might hit a few of them. They're a little rough, so I try not to hit those curbs. Coming into turn 2. Turn 2 is your apex, you're ignoring 3, so make that late apex, getting as fast of an exit out of here as you can, getting on throttle right out of 2. Should have no problem staying flat around 3 and all the way down, staying flat all the way through 4. 5 is a very high speed right-handed corner, so a little bit of brakes needed. Gently release of the brakes while turning in and reapplying throttle around mid-apex, coming down into 6. 6 is a very deceiving corner in that you kind of come up to it thinking it's only a 90-degree corner, which is actually a little more. So it's a little tighter than normal, so don't turn in too early. Keep it a nice late apex. Coming out of 6, coming a slight downhill, you're gonna carry the speed early apex into 7, let the car come to the outside of the track if needed, and 8's gonna be kind of a tighter corner anyway, so you can kind of give up some of the entrance of 8 to carry more speed out of 7. So hugging 8 kind of tight, the car's gonna get a little light coming out of 8. You're coming up over a little crest. So if you do have a rear wheel drive car with power, be a little careful coming out of 8. Flat all the way down 9. The entrance of 10, very tricky because you are coming into a corner as you are applying brakes. So it's a very heavy trail braking corner. You're braking towards the very edge of this track over here. And really try to get that exit out of 10. It's kind of a patient, slow corner, so use the curbing on the right if needed somewhat. Don't get too far off. It's, again, a little rough. Come up to 11. This is Deception. Very blind corner, and if you take this wrong, there's a wall over here you can hit, and then there's a wall over here if you get too far to the right. So take it easy on this corner until you kind of really learn what is over this blind corner. So out of Deception, 13 should really have no problem staying flat through 14, and you'll come down the hill and crest the bottom of the hill coming up into 15. As you come up the hill of 15, you should be hard on the brakes. Use all that extra grip you're going to get from the compression of going uphill, and you're going to crest the top of the hill right around here as you need to start turning in. So be gentle on the turn in. The car's going to get very light. Don't do anything to upset the car around 16. And 17 is much faster than you think coming into it. May require a little bit of dab of the brake, and then a gentle turn in and reapply throttle. 18, I kind of V this corner. So you hit the apex, or early apex into 18, let the car come out a little bit, not much. I don't even do half track even. And then try to come into 19 somewhat straight. This is where the track will fall away, down into the sinkhole. You wanna make sure your car is straight coming into 19, otherwise you're gonna end up sideways. On throttle coming downhill, and then a really hard brake as you hit the bottom of the hill. You'll have mega grip coming into 20 here. Use that elevation to your advantage. Coming up the hill, I usually stay tight all the way around, setting myself up for what I like to think of this as just a slalom through 21, 22, and 23, with emphasis on getting exit speed out of 23, as that's followed by a long straight. And that's a lap around NCM Grand. We are doing this in a BMW E46 with an LS7, so a little bit more powerful. This was also done on, I think it had street tires on. But nonetheless, it is a E46 LS7 making about 560 horse. Get around this little Miata, no problem. And the Porsche. Coming into one, super fast, late brake, carry lots of speed, and get all up on that curbing on the right. Get almost both wheels up on the curbing there, both wheels on the curbing there. Let the car come out. Got plenty of space to get the car back over and entering turn 2. Late apex, I missed it a little bit there. Don't worry about actual corner 3. You really only need to focus on corner 2 as the apex point. Coming down through 4 here, flat, no problem. 5 is very fast. Late brake, turn in, gently get back on throttle, and hard on the brakes coming into 6. 6 is actually tighter than it looks. So get a late apex, come down here into 7. Early apex, let the car come over to the left, and slow and steady here into 8. Stay nice and smooth. Floored through here. And turn 10, very slow, very tricky. Look ahead. Be gentle applying the throttle. It's very tight. Coming up into what they call deception, kind of blind. Turn in and back on throttle there. Stay floored through 13, all the way down through 14. Should have no problem staying floored. Stay floored and brake coming up the hill. Turn in gently to the right and back on it. It's a very high-speed sweeper. Dab of the brakes, turn in, carry that speed, back on it. Starting to enter the toilet bowl. I early apex this, and I stay tight. And get ready for the car to fall down the hill. Hard brakes at the bottom. Again, stay tight here. Gentle with the throttle, start adding throttle, adding throttle, adding throttle. And go through the slalom. Getting everything you can here to stay floored onto the front straight. And that's a lap of NCM Grand. 204.81. All right, the ASM track score. NCM Grand is definitely one of my favorite tracks. I give this a pretty high rating, 9.5 for fun factor. It's got everything. It's got the high-speed corners, the low-speed corners, the technical corners, the elevation changes, everything. Very fun track. Really recommend getting to it. Risk. It is a little on the riskier side. There are some spots where there's walls, guardrails, there's stuff to hit. Giving it a risk factor of about 7. Technicality, 8.5. Like I said before, it's got a little bit of everything, including those technical corners. So 8.5. Final score, 9.3. Again, one of my personal favorite tracks. Really recommend getting to it. It's got everything. Fun track. I want you guys to give me some feedback. Let me know what you found helpful so we can help make better videos for you guys. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching the ASM Track Tips.